United States submarine base at Key West, Florida. A dispatch that quoted President Truman's press secretary, Charles Ross, as saying that President Truman has no knowledge of any secret project by this government that would give substance to the existence of such objects. Ross also said that both the Air Force and the Navy deny that such objects exist.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I will just say, hey, what's up? My name's Noelle, and I have fallen down, like tripped and fallen like I'm Alice in Wonderland down the hole that is Justin Bieber speaking to Selena Gomez via lyrics and songs.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, and I'm Chelsea. I've known what that song that came out that was like, "What do you mean?" I've known what he means this whole time. And
I actually
Selena.
I mean, I think I kind of knew that always. I knew what he meant by that, but I guess like I didn't realize the severity of it. It feels very star-crossed lovers, but I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. So
Yeah.
We're going to jump into this because I think we can say on record this subject matter has turned into our physically longest episode to date. So not like 0 spaces, 11 font. We are at 14 pages, and we usually do
5.
yeah, like 0.5, like almost double space, so that it's easier for us to read. If we were to do that to this document, it would probably jump us to like 20 pages. And if you guys remember, our minimum amount and our average amount is about 5. Like we won't cover a topic if we don't have more than 5 pages on it. So there's a lot. And I hope that we all can come together and unwrap our tinfoil and make cats out of it and figure out what the fuck is going on. But the reason why we're getting into this in the first place, if anyone can put it together, you will in a few seconds. I think we can all agree, if there is something that you can just enjoy, divulge in, it's gluttonous, it's calorie-free, it's a cheat meal, if you will. It's the filthiest, juiciest drama that has absolutely nothing to do with you. And I love it even more when I don't really like care about the people or like know anything about it. Like I always think of like third party gossip you hear from like a mutual. You're like, I will eat that up all day. It's just like watching reality TV. You're like, this doesn't affect me in the slightest. And that is what is so delicious about it.
It's very Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, like Team Green versus Team Black. I'm all in on these fabricated stories. I have chosen a side. I know who I want to win. And everyone who is outside of that circle of what I personally want is an enemy to me.
You know, that's the tea about it too. It's interesting how like, I mean, not for me personally, I don't think for you either. I think we draw the lines in the sand and go to war easily. But for a lot of people, they find themselves like in the middle being mediators or being like, I'm not getting involved. I'm just a bystander watching. But for some reason, there's something about drama that has nothing to do with you, where you are so willing and excited to pick a side, because I know whose side I am on when it comes to this drama. And I did not give a fuck about any of the people involved, truly. But after I started doing research and started seeing things and hearing things, I took time out of my day to physically go on Instagram and follow the person whose team I am on. Because I was like, oh, we're doing this. We're going to war. We are waging war. I will show up.
Right. Yeah. I love this. Is like our Super Bowl, man. It's like, oh, all of a sudden the fans come out. Yeah, because my team made it to the fucking Super Bowl. Like, are you kidding me? I don't have to be a team all year long to not root for the good guys in the end. So I feel you. I'll die on this hill. Any drama that has to do with me in real life, I'm okay with like just falling over and dying and being like, I don't care, just whatever you want about it.
Yeah,
This,
yeah.
I'm fucking done.
Yeah, this is our Super Bowl. And just like the Super Bowl, it is littered with religious propaganda. Because I think the Super Bowl this year had like 2 or 3 Scientology advertisements played in the middle of it. And I think like that evangelical one about Jesus. And this story also has religious cults in it. And if you could just like create the perfect calorie-free meal for me to eat, it would be drama that has nothing to do with me and religious cults. And you smash that together, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about today.
So good, dude. I would never do a cooking class, but this type of cuisine, I want to learn about it. I want to learn about its history, its etymology. I want to know about it from the top up. So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And just as a disclaimer, because in doing research on this topic, I also found, and I'm assuming Chelsea also found, that some of the parties involved, and I mean 2 out of the 4, are trigger happy when it comes to suing you or taking to court or threatening you, when it comes to like talking about them in a not so positive light. And so our disclaimer is, while the references we bring up, quotes and examples, are all fact-based or proven, our opinions of how we think they relate to each other are just that, opinions. Feel free to come up with your own. We will be breaking this down chronologically.
Yeah, so I'm going to add allegedly to the name of the podcast too, just so that we're covered in title when we release it.
Yeah.
So I say this allegedly as the umbrella that will encompass this entire topic. Let's start with Hillsong Church.
Please.
Hillsong Church is a mega church that many of you have probably already heard about, especially with Chris Pratt always talking out of his ass on social media and being an overall clown. He's basically the Tom Cruise to Hillsong, is what Tom Cruise is to Scientology.
That's perfectly put.
Mm-hmm. And I want to just say rip to Andy Dwyer, that adorable man from Parks and Rec, because Chris Pratt killed him. And now we can't like him anymore.
It's true.
So the history of Hillsong Church is rife with controversy and scandal, despite its outwardly positive reputation as a global megachurch with millions of followers. Reports of abuse, financial impropriety, and a cult-like culture have plagued the church over the years, calling into question its credibility and integrity. One of the most shocking scandals involving Hillsong Church occurred in the 1970s, where the father of the church's founder, Brian Houston, was accused of sexually abusing a young boy. According to a 2022 report in the New York Times, Houston was aware of the abuse allegations, but failed to report them to the authorities, instead choosing to handle the matter internally with the church. He took a leaf out of the Catholic Church on that one.
He took a page out of the LDS Church as well.
Isn't that weird how they just don't ever want to turn people in?
Yeah. Isn't it weird how they always punish the victims rather than bring justice to the situation? They're just like, oh my God, this pastor molested you? Well, did you pray about it? Like, go fuck yourself.
If the method works, they're going to stick with it. So this decision has been criticized as a cover-up, with some calling for Houston to be held accountable for his actions. Most recently, Hillsong Church has faced a series of allegations of sexual abuse and misconduct by its leaders and volunteers. So even still, in 2021, a former member of the church filed a lawsuit alleging that she was sexually abused by a volunteer at a Hillsong youth camp in Australia when she was a teenager. The lawsuit also accused the church of failing to provide a safe environment for its members and of mishandling previous allegations of abuse. And the financial practices of Hillsong Church have also come under scrutiny, with reports of its leaders living lavish lifestyles funded by tithes and offerings from members. In 2020, former members of the church accused Hillsong of using, quote, slave labor in its Australian operations, with volunteers being required to work long hours without pay. The church denied these allegations, but the controversy highlighted concerns about the exploitation of unpaid labor and lack of transparency in the church's finances.
This is such a page out of any evangelical or mega church or like rock church, like the modern youth cool guy church's books. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even express to you. I mean, Typhoid Taylor is one of the greatest examples of having done like mission work with her church. And when you actually look at it for what it is rigorous, tiresome, exploitative child unpaid labor in horrific conditions, in with absolutely no safety, absolutely no concern for their well-being, exposed to the elements and the environment, given minimal supplies. It's insane. And I know that she was doing some sort of like building project as well, and like these were kids, these were teenagers, and put in areas just unprotected and unsupervised. And then their quote supervisors would be people just a few years older than them who oftentimes took advantage of like these vulnerable situations and positions.
Used it as a dating pool. Like,
yeah,
all
absolutely.
the time you see it. These youth ministers or people in the youth ministry who are essentially these infantile like hipsters with Peter Pan syndrome who want to date young girls in the church who are not only vulnerable, but most of the times they are quote unquote pure and ripe for the picking, which is exactly how they like them.
Yeah, it's really disgusting when you look at the lead pastors and former lead pastors of Hillsong. They are exactly what you think of when you think of like this exploitative youth pastor culture. They're like tanned, sometimes tattooed, super fit. They try to come off as like modern and like cool and hip. Like they'll be shirtless skateboarding with like these celebrities and being like, Jesus thinks you're awesome. But meanwhile, the entire core of the church is homophobia and just like rampant bigotry and undernotes of racism and high notes of sexism.
Yeah, and even the idea that God gives you punishments when you're not pure. So like Chris Pratt got put under fire because his first child with Anna Faris has I think just some like mental disabilities and delays. And then when he had a baby with Katherine Schwarzenegger, he was like, thank you for like giving me a healthy baby. And he got dragged for that because people are like, you already have a kid.
Yeah.
You don't consider your first kid healthy because they have developmental delays. And he's like, that's not how I meant it. But it was like, that's such an exclusatory phrasing. Like, why would you put it like that?
Yeah. I'm not sure if the post is still up. If he was smart, he would have deleted it. But of course, you can go to the archives of the internet because this was such a hot button issue when it happened. But the TLDR of his post about his second child being born was basically like, thank you, God, for giving me what I deserve. Yeah. Which is this like traditionally healthy baby. And really framed it in the terms of like, this is my first gift of God by being like a pure and righteous man. And it was truly the most horrific shit I've ever seen because everyone knew at that point that he had basically abandoned his wife at the time and child at the time to fully commit to Hillsong. And then Hillsong arranged his second marriage, and that's where he had his second child.
Yep. So super gross. We don't like him anymore. In addition to the abuse and financial scandals, Hillsong Church has also been criticized for promoting a cult-like culture of control and obedience. Former members have described a strict hierarchical structure where leaders hold absolute authority and members are expected to submit to their directives without question. The church's emphasis on conformity and its conservative theology have also been criticized as promoting intolerance and exclusion, particularly towards the LGBTQ plus individuals.
Yeah, this is just facts, though. Like, at the end of the day, Hillsong is classically, traditionally, Mozart level evangelical. And in that, it is very much a marriage is between a man and a woman's role is to reproduce. That has been their bread and butter. And
Yeah.
specifically speaking to the female partner in which you should choose for marriage should be coming into your marriage pure and ready to submit.
Yes. And they put hip people at the forefront, right? Like Justin Bieber is a
Yeah.
cool cat. So like when he signed on, or Chris Pratt at the height of his career, you have Star-Lord as the face of your church. That's good marketing.
Yeah. And like if you look up the celebrities who have gone in and out of this church, it would make you truly sick.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of when I went to my sister's cult megachurch's Christmas like celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like a full megachurch. We were in basically a stadium in which you could have held concerts. I've talked about this before, but like the band had like the guitarist from Journey, like the church house band had the guitarist from Journey. It had elevating, moving platforms in which they were performing on, light shows, all that good stuff. And what I can only describe as two Abercrombie models come out and they start like, you know, getting the kids hyped up about all of the youth activities they have planned for that upcoming summer and to like get everyone signing up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they whisk them away as the crowd is all excited about this. And then two of the crustiest, nastiest, moldy pieces of white bread men come out and start talking about how you should be looking for your partner within the church, and how your nuclear family unit needs to stay within the church, and how like that is the only way to have like a pure and righteous future and life and be like abiding to what God wants from you. And then of course they ended it by saying all of this money that they fundraised, they have airdropped English Bibles into Cuba. And I was like, now what the hell? Now what the hell is going the fuck on here?
In Cuba, isn't Cuba Christian? What is the primary religion?
Well, because they say they're communist, therefore atheist.
Roman Catholic, yeah. Fucking, I was like, Cuba? I was 99% sure that is a Catholic fucking country. And I'm like, okay, thanks for the Bibles.
Also, the dropping of English Bibles in a Spanish-speaking country, just incredible. Incredible. So,
yeah, they really tried the least on that one. Oh, what a bunch of fucking dummies.
But I can just like, I know that's exactly how Hillsong went down.
Oh, I would 100% agree. They're all cut from the same shitty cloth.
Yeah.
So, despite its global popularity and successes, did I already read this? No, I didn't. So, despite how fucking popular it is with celebrities, the history of Hillsong Church is marred by numerous controversies and scandals, which we've mentioned. The allegations of abuse, financial impropriety again, and cult-like behaviors raise serious questions about the church's values and priorities, and its ability to serve as a trustworthy and ethical religious institution. So this church, although it pegs itself as being Christian, really falls into more practices akin to cults like Scientology, especially when you look at its treatment with powerful men. Cults are notorious for controlling every aspect of its members' lives, including their relationships and marriages. The practice of cults selecting wives for important men is disturbing, and it is unethical, and it has been reported in various religious organizations. One high-profile example is the alleged involvement of the Church of Scientology in the selection of Katie Holmes as Tom Cruise's wife.
This is the thing. No matter where you are, like, because I even think there are certain, like, really wealthy families or, like, predominant members, like, even it's probably connected to religion in some way, but I think like everyone has seen it play out. Like when you're in these very specific cultivated circles where they're trying to maintain wealth and power, it's all about arranged marriages. Whether you want to look back historically in like the monarchy, or you want to look in just like old money, only
Yeah.
marrying old money, et cetera, et cetera. Like even if you were going to a like really wealthy Ivy League school, you have been like trained and taught that that is also who you will marry to keep
Yeah.
the wealth and power within itself. And a lot of times people in these like higher echelon groups talk about how they were introduced to the person they were going to marry at a young age. Like it was already set in the stars
Yeah.
for them. And by the stars, I mean written contracts signed by lawyers with their family's permission that they will essentially be married to as a business agreement.
Yeah. It's cultural incest, I guess. Like, you don't marry out, like just how back in the day you didn't marry outside of the family. Now there's these places where you don't marry outside of your socioeconomic status. You don't marry outside of your religion.
Mhm.
We will choose for you. It's just, we learned our lesson genetically, but we're not learning our lesson socially when it comes to like not shitting where you eat, so to speak.
Yeah, I think with like the cults and the churches, it's all about like maintaining power. Because imagine if you were Tom Cruise in Scientology or Justin Bieber in Hillsong, and someone comes up to you and is like, "Hey, this is one of our members in the church. We think that you guys would be super compatible. This is like in God's light. This is the way, essentially,
Mhm.
right? What are you expecting from that? You're expecting them to stay in the church, multiply within the church, maintain power in the church, maintain press in the church, and basically be like this power couple representing the church.
Yeah.
What happens if they just end up dating someone that they met in the club? Right?
No.
It's not going to happen because that
No.
person's going to be like, what do you mean you have to go on like church ordained missions? And what do you mean the pastor wants you to live with him for 6 months? And what do you like?
Yeah.
You're going to have someone questioning. And even if you have like the most devout member, if you put someone on the outside with them, when it is cult status like this,
Mhm.
there are two options. You're either going to get that person in on it, which is a risk, or you're going to get that person to remove your
Yeah.
member, which is often what happens in Scientology. So it's just like it makes sense to maintain power and money within the cult. You arrange the marriage. It's like it's old school mentality thinking in the same way that like royalty thought about maintaining power and money.
Right. What in the world? Why is this going off? Sometimes I get 1,000 email notifications from work all at the same time. It buzzes my Fitbit and it throws me off.
Yeah, well, tell them to stop.
I'm trying. You're not getting them too? So that threw off what I was totally going to say. But anyway, according to a 2012 report by Vanity Fair, Holmes was handpicked by the Church of Scientology to be Cruz's wife, and the relationship was closely monitored and managed by the organization. The report suggests that Holmes was introduced to Scientology at a young age and was groomed for her role as Cruz's partner, with the church exerting significant control over their courtship and eventual marriage. The involvement of a religious organization in the selection of a spouse raises serious ethical concerns, particularly when the organization is known for its coercive and controlling tactics. The alleged role of the Church of Scientology in the Cruz-Holmes relationship has been compared to the practice of arranged marriages, where yes, individuals are forced to marry against their will and without regard for their preferences or autonomy. Furthermore, the reported involvement of the Church of Scientology in the Cruz-Holmes relationship highlights the dangers of cults and their ability to manipulate and exploit vulnerable individuals. I'm going to say in this case, there's like vulnerability of career, where like we will bury you will never have the same financial success you have. I know in Nicole Kidman's case, like she just doesn't see her kids with Tom Cruise. Like she just doesn't have those children in her life anymore.
Yeah.
And then if you look at post Dawson's Creek career for Katie Holmes, it was severely limited. She gets involved with the church, she gets Batman, jumps out of the church, she's out of Batman.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast it happens. So the church's long history of abusive practices, including allegations of physical and emotional abuse, underscore the need for greater awareness and scrutiny of cults and their activities. So the practice of selecting wives for important men is not unique to Scientology, and there are similar reports emerging from other religious organizations, including allegedly Hillsong Church. The so-called wife-picking phenomenon is a disturbing manifestation of cult mentality where members are encouraged to sacrifice this autonomy and desires for the benefit of the group and its leaders. In addition to ethical concerns, the practice of selecting wives for important men also perpetuates harmful gender stereotypes and reinforces patriarchal power dynamics. By treating women as commodities to be traded or bartered, rather than as autonomous individuals with their own agency and value, cults perpetuate a culture of misogyny and oppression.
This one is this is why I think with religious cults, it's so easy because they've been sold the idea of godliness and being closer to God, and being in God's light, if you will, with being a subservient provider and birth giver, and that's it, that's your role. They're sold that traditional patriarchal 1950s housewife. And so I think for a lot of them, when you've been raised in it, you don't even realize that that's what's happening. You don't even realize that you had autonomy to lose because you were told you never had autonomy from the start.
Yeah. And if you try to go against that, you're essentially going against biblical teachings that you're supposed to be passive and agreeable to your husbands. Otherwise, you're a bad Christian, or you're not going to work in the church, or you're going to lose power, you're going to lose status. It's abusive and definitely a controlling plot device. So the case of Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes definitely serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of cults and their insidious influence on personal relationships. Hillsong Church, Scientology, and other religious cults share several similarities in this structure, teaching, and practices. These similarities provide insight into the dynamics of these organizations and the way they exert control over their members. One of the most prominent similarities between these groups is their hierarchical structure, where a charismatic leader at the top exerts significant control over the organization and its members. This leader is often revered as a spiritual authority and may claim to have exclusive access to divine wisdom or revelation. In Hillsong Church, this leader is Pastor Brian Houston, who founded it with his wife in 1983. For Scientology, you have L. Ron Hubbard, and then his successor, David Miscavige, who's currently playing a similar role. Another similarity is the use of high-pressure recruitment tactics, which may involve targeting vulnerable individuals, such as those going through a difficult time in their lives, and offering them a sense of belonging and purpose. Once a member has joined the group, they are subject to a range of practices designed to indoctrinate them into the group's beliefs and practices, such as attending regular services, classes, and retreats. That's crazy that you mentioned that about your sister, and we had not talked about the retreat aspect. So cults are also characterized by their demand for absolute obedience from their members, often under the guise of spiritual discipline or enlightenment. Hillsong Church, Scientology, and other cults frequently use fear, guilt, and shame to manipulate and control their members, coercing them into complying with the group's demands and suppressing any dissenting opinions and behaviors. Another similarity between these groups is their tendency to prioritize the interests of the organization over the needs and well-being of individual members. This may involve pressuring members to donate large sums of money to the group or to engage in unpaid labor, such as the case of former Hillsong members who did allege that they worked hours without pay. It also puts them into loveless marriages for... But cults also tend to have a strict code of conduct, which members are expected to adhere to a set of rules and regulations governing literally every aspect of their lives, from how they dress to how they appear in their romantic relationships and how they socially interact with people. In Scientology, for example, members are subject to strict rules around communication and may be punished for speaking negatively about the organization or its leaders. So finally, Hillsong Church, Scientology, and other cults often operate with a high level of secrecy and exclusivity, with information and teachings restricted to members only. This reinforces the group control over the members and creates a sense of dependence on the organization for spiritual guidance and support. These similarities highlight the ways in which these groups exert control over their members and underscore the importance of promoting individual autonomy and freedom from coercion and manipulation.
So, some of you may have figured out what we're talking about here. But let's go back in the time machine and see how this all works together. In 2008, some of the top viewed videos on YouTube were Avril Lavigne's Girlfriend, The Evolution of Dance. Both classics. Did you? I rewatched a little bit of The Evolution of Dance because I was like, wait, is this what I think it is? And it is. It's like
the guy.
The guy in the like orange Crush t-shirt doing all the it so quintessentially 2008. And a 14-year-old bowl-cutted Canadian boy singing a cover of Chris Brown's With You. This kid had been singing covers on YouTube since the age of 12, but it was a mix of an extremely online group of teens that would blow this cover up. And on November 28th, 2009, he would debut on The Ellen Show, singing his first single, One Time, which in only a few months was later re-released on his debut album, My World. Mm-hmm. We were only 4 years into the creation of YouTube, and it's safe to say pretty much every teen had access to the internet. Teen fan culture has been around since the 60s. You could have been standing on the tarmac when the Beatles arrived in America for the first time with a sign that said, "Marry Me, Paul," hanging up a poster of Burt Reynolds that you got from Teen Beat magazine, camping out to see Billy Joel, watching NSYNC dance at the Mall of America, or maybe you spent any waking moment you could on your T-Mobile sidekick running your Justin Bieber fan page.
I did everything I could with dial-up internet. It was a very difficult time.
Dude, it was so, God forbid someone call the house.
I know. I used to get so mad when my sisters would take the phone off the hook and then they would fucking kick me off of AOL.
Get that AIM fired up. That AIM fired up.
I still have my AOL email too. I give it out sometimes.
You know who also still has an AOL email? My parents. And
Amy and I got that in common.
My dad will change his passwords for everything, like Netflix, everything, every month at the end of every month because he's like convinced he's going to get hacked. And I'm like, sir, you have the same email address from when internet was invented, from when email was created. You have the same email address. If someone's going to hack you, they did 30 years ago. But fucking
no one's coming for your Netflix, my guy.
I know, it's so weird.
There are other ways to get info off the internet for your poor precious father. Just let him be in peace.
Just like, it's the AOL. They log on to AOL.com like it's fucking Google. It's incredible.
Oh, man.
So anyway, you could have been struggling to stay connected online, or for someone like Hailey Baldwin, daughter of the less talented Baldwin, Stephen Baldwin, who you may have seen in 1995's The Unusual Suspects or The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas 2000. You may have spent your time fangirling with the fan pages. Between 2011 and 2012, a 14-15-year-old Hailey Baldwin sent out the following tweets. This is her, remember. "Shut up before I smack you back to your own country." That one isn't that one isn't related to the story, but I just wanted to put it in there. Okay, so we have May 27, 2011. "I'm for sure 100% team #Jelena." We have her at Selena Gomez. "Happy B-Day, pretty," smiley face. Emojis weren't created at this point. "Selena Gomez is so cute. Don't argue. Bye." On October 7, 2011. September 24th, 2011. "I don't care what anyone says, but Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez together is the definition of a teenage dream. #word.
Let's put that on a shirt, dude. Let's sell it. That's so good.
I will say someone was like, "This is how I know Selena is better than me because I would just retweet this."
Yeah, right? Oh my God, I would fucking retweet this. I'm going to get my Facebook cover photo.
Literally, I would just change your profile pic to this.
Oh my God.
January 27th, 2012. Selena Gomez is so freaking good looking. Also friggin', what a classic. Oh my god. This is her replying to a fan account on January 8th, 2012 at Whoa, it's ex Mealy. Seriously though, she's beyond flawless and he's Bieber. They are perfect relationship. And then like sad, like a sad face emoji, but like not emoji. Hand written on the keyboard. Forever alone. And the last one on May 8th, 2013, at Selena Gomez looks hot in her new music video. Finally, emojis make their first appearance online with 3 fire emojis.
Oh my god. Fucking nerd.
So, another person you can see Hailey interacting with is Bieber superfan Dana Rose. And when I say superfan, I mean she was running multiple fan pages, went over to 50 concerts, and would know what hotels he was staying at and be outside waiting for pictures and autographs. So much so that she began to be recognized by Justin Bieber himself. In a now 3-year-old YouTube video, Dana goes on to praise Hailey as the superfan who made it. She pulls up DMs between the two showing Hailey asking what hotel Justin was staying at that weekend, if faked DMs her fan account posted were actually from Justin, and telling her that a different popular Bieber fan account was mean. Which is so on brand for Hailey Baldwin at this point online. Mm-hmm. Dana goes on to say how Hailey would take any and all info about Justin's whereabouts and place herself there. This could be seen in a February 13th, 2012 paparazzi video showing Hailey camped outside a New York City hotel with the Biebers, which is the mass group of fans that Justin had at this point in time, as Justin enters his car. I beg all of you to go look this up. If you search that 2012 paparazzi video of Hailey in the background, like it'll pop up and she's like a jump scare. It's like a crazy cam footage of paparazzi trying to get like baby Justin Bieber going into his SUV, and out from seemingly someone's back pops Hailey Baldwin, just like with the fans, like weaving and bobbing, trying to get a fucking look at him.
Where are the parents? Where are the parents?
Oh,
letting this child run around.
You'll find out. You'll find out, Chelsea. I'll tell you know it, because we'll spoil it a little bit. How do you think she got there?
Yeah, Daddy wanted that Bieber money.
That's what I'm saying, girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying, girl. And of course, another iconic photo, which everyone, if you, this again, Selena is bigger than me because this would be my profile picture till I died, is a red carpet photo of Hailey holding up the December 2011 copy of M Magazine with Justin and Selena on the cover. It is
so embarrassing.
Truly iconic. So let's go into a timeline. Justin and Selena dated on and off from 2012 to 2018. They first met in 2009, right when Justin got popular, literally, like right with his first appearance on Ellen, because he reveals in an interview that Selena is his celeb crush. Selena later tells the exact details in a 2011 interview on The Late Show, saying that Justin's manager, Scooter Braun, called Selena's mom, who is her manager, just know he wasn't like calling her mom, and got the two together for dinner.
Okay, if my mom ever called somebody for me to set up a dinner, I wouldn't go. I would just consider that. I'd be like, we're dead to each other now. But I guess they were also probably only 14 during this time.
Yeah.
Also, I think Scooter Braun's the dude who allegedly raped Kesha.
Scooter Braun is like everyone's manager, and he's connected to everything.
Yeah.
And it's like he's got so many sketchy stories attached to him. Also, Justin was 15 at this time. I'll assume that him and Selena are around the same age.
Yeah.
So anyway, it wasn't until the 2011 Oscars where they were officially together as a couple on the red carpet. Previously, they were just, quote, close friends, despite pictures of them making out on yachts, but whatever, peace and love to them. I wanted to highlight this quote from an interview that Justin did with Oprah from October 2011, because when we get to current day issues with Justin, people try to say, well, this is just the way he is. But I think that this specifically proves it differently. Quote, I feel like a lot of guys do that, especially in the business. They don't want to be seen with their girlfriends, so they'll make them ride in separate cars and do all that getaway stuff. But if we get away, we're getting away together. And this is him talking about wanting to be seen with Selena Gomez out in public. This also comes after he rented out the entire Staples Center in LA to have a private candlelit dinner with Selena.
I remember when all those photos came out of them having that dinner.
Crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, a month later, they would break up for the first time after 2 years together. A source close to Selena citing trust issues.
Justin fucking up.
Unfortunately, classic. So, April 2013, they're spotted a few times having dinner together. Fans assume they're back together. Justin shares, again, this is so 2013, a TBT or Throwback Thursday post on Instagram of them together, but neither party confirms their rekindling. December 2013, Justin goes on Big Boy's Neighborhood, which is a radio show, and talks about how he will always love Selena and revealing that the song All That Matters was written while working through their breakup. January 5th, 2014. Selena checks into Dawn at the Meadows Rehabilitation Center in Wickenburg, Arizona. It is reported as needed for exhaustion and mental health issues. Blind items come out and say it's prescription drug abuse, habits she picked up while dating Justin.
I heard this one too. There were like a few pictures that came out also of them allegedly going to the dealer's house to get drugs, and they look fucking unwell.
Yeah, there are pictures that come out in like end of 2013, obviously early 2014, that show them also like in the back of SUVs just looking strung out.
Yeah, it was not a good time.
No. January 23rd, so just a few weeks later, same month, Justin is arrested on suspicion of drunk driving, drag racing, driving without a valid license, and resisting arrest after police pulled him over in a residential street area in Miami.
Yeah, I remember the decline of Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Like it was yesterday. Even Miley Cyrus talked about it. She's like, that guy needs to party at his house.
Literally, though.
That was it. Yeah.
Get off the road, party at your house. Learn from Miley. I think this is an important date to keep in mind, because what's worse for a teen heartthrob than rock bottom? And let's also remember what you said earlier about cults being opportunistic and coming into the picture when someone is vulnerable and needing saving, essentially.
Yeah.
Because weeks later, after his arrest, Justin would find himself with Hillsong pastor Carl Lentz getting baptized in former Knicks player Tyson Chandler's bathtub at 2 a.m.
That's a party. Oh man, that is a bit of a party. Were you ever baptized? I don't know if
I think I was baptized
like
in the Catholic Church as a baby. Were you?
Okay. Yeah, I was baptized when I was 14. I was baptized Presbyterian in a Baptist church, and because I wanted the full dunking, and my pastor made it happen.
Yeah, I was definitely a baby, and it was definitely in a Catholic church, and a priest definitely just put water over my head. It was one of those things that my parents did to appease the families.
Oh, really? Yeah, that sucks. I definitely chose to get baptized, because my parents were like, whatever, whenever.
Yeah.
But getting baptized as Presbyterian is slightly different. You have to do like classes and stuff.
I did get unbaptized in, I believe, 2015 by the Satanic Temple.
Yeah, because you got a certificate for it, right?
Yeah, they lit me on fire and unbaptized me, so that was really nice. But so people talk about like, why the fuck were you giving a baptism in an NBA player's bathtub at 2 a.m.? And Carl Lentz, the pastor of Hillsong, tries to say that like it doesn't matter the time and place and where, it just matters the reason.
I mean, I would agree with that, but I don't find it's just what were they doing there? That feels like more of a party than
they
a
try to
worship service.
they try to say that like getting a place for Justin Bieber to be baptized would just cause paparazzi to be there, and they were trying to do it without that. So apparently, the only viable option was an NBA player's bathtub at 2 a.m.
Why not? Why not Justin Bieber's own bathtub? Why not?
I think
Carl
they were
Lentz's own bathtub.
They were in New York, and I don't know why it was such an emergency. Like I only have quotes that the pastor gave out, and I just gave them to you.
Yeah, that's so fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, they do not make sense to me. Okay. March 19th, 2014, Hailey Baldwin is debuted in a stage paparazzi photo op to be Kylie Jenner's new BFF. And the literal next day, she is signed to LA Models, and it's tweeted out.
Ooh, it's starting. You can see it looking back now, how the wheels start to turn.
Oh yeah. And I don't. This might be interesting for everyone to know. Just a little tidbit. The Baldwins, specifically Hailey and her dad Steven and her mom, were born-again Christians who joined Hillsong because their housekeeper said that she had a vision that they were going to be led to that church. So anyway, I don't know if that like matters to this story at all, but just interesting for you guys to know. Anyway, August 2014, fans assume Justin and Selena are back together because Justin is posting recent pics of them on Instagram. November 8th, 2014, Selena confirms they've broken up again during an interview with Ryan Seacrest. She's talking about her single, The Heart Wants What It Wants, mentions how she played the song to Justin before releasing it, and ends the interview saying, I support him. I think I always will. I'm upset when he's upset. I'm happy when he's happy.
Mm-hmm.
November 10th, 2014, Insider reports that Justin and Hailey go to Hillsong Church together with Kendall Jenner.
There we go.
So, most people can agree that families that have a toe into Hollywood or money are like, pick your little thing. And for her, it was modeling. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, we need to make sure you are with the right people. So that is done with having friendships set up by managers like Scooter Braun, their PR teams, and in this case, Hillsong.
Yeah.
2014 pretty much is seen as the official launch of Hailey, not just as her as someone in the inner circle of like the Kardashian Jenners, her in Hollywood, and also her being connected to Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
This is also why her Twitter is basically nuked off the face of the earth. She deleted it, I think, 2 years ago because there was nothing but evidence of her interacting with Bieber stans. Their Twitter accounts, retweets, and her DMs. But unfortunate for her, these stans kept evidence of pretty much everything.
And Hailey, if you're listening, and I know you are, you gotta just own it. Hell yeah, I was a fan and I got what I want. I manifested that shit.
I know.
Buy my book about manifestation. It's $29.95 at Barnes and Noble. That's
she really could have
marketed
pivoted. Yeah.
I would market the shit out of that and I would act so unbothered. In my room, I would cry. And I would be mortified.
Yeah.
But you got to save face for the public. I would even like rename my Twitter the official Justin Bieber Stan account. Like I would be all in on it. I would play into the game.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to full send.
You got to lean into it. You have to double down.
Always.
When there's nothing but evidence, double down.
Yep.
So anyway, November 22nd, 2014, Justin is at Hailey's 18th birthday with the Jenners. December 15th, 2014, tons. I'm talking droves on multiple blind item sites that tend to be super reputable. Blind items come out about Selena having a mental breakdown about Justin and Hailey at Taylor Swift's birthday party.
Yeah, that's weird. Why would they be at T Swift's? Because T Swift is Selena's BFF. No,
you're reading that wrong.
Selena Selena was at Taylor's birthday party having a meltdown about the okay.
Yeah. Yep,
I was like, Taylor wouldn't do that. Tay wouldn't cross that line.
Absolutely not.
Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah.
This is also my dad's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah.
So that same day, Justin posts a picture on Instagram with Hailey captioned, quote, "People are crazy. I'm super single, and this is my good friend. You would know otherwise."
How embarrassing. I think I remember when this also happened because everybody was like being awful to Hailey, and Selena actually came for Justin and was like, you need to treat your fans with respect or whatever. They just love you. And then I think it caused problems on that specific picture.
Yeah, Justin Bieber is a victim at the end of the day, but also like, boy, you are not helping your fucking
Stupid.
case.
No, dummy.
Oh my God. So end of December, end of this month, this is all happening in this 1 month. Please remember that. Selena is invited to Dubai with Kendall Jenner, Gigi Hadid, and Raquel Stevens to spend New Year's with them. It is now popular conspiracy or just fact that this was pre-planned to get Justin and Selena apart so that Hailey and Justin could spend New Year's together. Both things are proved with photos. The Dubai trip with Selena and Justin and Hailey together. It's important to note that Raquel Stevens' parents are high up in Hillsong. It's also important to note that Raquel remained close with Selena, even doing her cooking show, and yet she is the only person in Selena's camp who is still on good terms with Hailey.
So I've also seen nothing but this conspiracy all over my TikTok where it was like they swept her away so that Hailey could get close with Justin, and then none of them talked to her like ever again after that.
Yeah,
and, like,
it was
the next
just
week
that, like,
they were with Hailey.
Yeah, it was just that like one thing. And there's also a popular video showing Kendall in Dubai recently. I think within the last few months. I think actually on New Year's. I think actually on fucking New Year's. New Year's of this year. And lip readers, because it's really loud, so she's like over enunciating.
Yeah.
So lip readers like are like, that's exactly what it says. And someone talking to her goes, "Have you been to Dubai before?" And she goes, "Yeah, twice. This is my third time. The first time, horrible." She says it like that, and the first time would have been the fake trip to get Selena away from Justin.
Man, I love the lip reading accounts because I've also seen ones where people just lip read J-Lo yelling at Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Dude, the lip reading accounts with like J-Lo and Ben Affleck and her, it's always her being like, "Is this alcohol?"
Yeah, and then alcohol? She stone-faced, unfucking blinking, looking right into his soul as she like sips his drink and hands it back to him.
And then he goes, "See?"
Yeah.
It is
so
truly
uncomfortable.
Please, anyone go watch those. They're amazing. So, anyway, despite the tweets before, here enters Hailey officially. As my vacuum falls on the ground. March 31st, 2015, Hailey likes a tweet insulting Selena. And I have the tweet linked there if you would like to see it, Chelsea. Go ahead and read it for us.
Okay, let me go in here. I gotta open it. Selena Gomez, retweet for hot, fave for not.
So what did she do? She faved that, baby.
Wow, that's not what the evidence says, Hailey. If this were a court of law, I would have impeached her ass and been like, "Is this your tweet from 2020 or from 2012?
Is this your tweet?
Is that what you said?"
Just everyone shows up in court with the printouts of all her.
Yeah. Oh my God, how fucking embarrassing.
There's also a video. I think that was from like a close friend's Snapchat story of Hailey at like Sephora, and there's a giant ad of Selena like posing with makeup, and Hailey's like talking shit. So feel free to look that up. But she's just like, "No one told you you had lipstick on your teeth," and she like flings like flicks the poster. It's crazy. Anyway, April 11th, 2015, Hailey accidentally retweets a tweet that says, quote, "I feel like Justin and Hailey are secretly dating." And it's taken down, but of course, this was a fan account that posted this. So when they saw the Hailey Baldwin retweeting it, the phones were glitching. They were screenshotting so fast.
I still have a fucking screenshot of when Jake the Snake liked my picture on Instagram, and I'm keeping it for fucking ever.
Yeah,
That's what we do.
I know for a fact that Chelsea has caught people saying things to her and screenshotting the notification, and then they deleted what they said, but she screenshotted the notification.
Yeah.
So it actually might not exist, but she got when the notification came up.
Yeah, I
Same
fucking get them every
thing.
time.
Yeah.
I'm quick.
Same thing here.
Mhm.
April 23rd, 2015. Justin, Kendall, and Hailey are seen taking Justin's little sister to a restaurant. There are some reports that say they were coming from Hillsong, like a morning service at Hillsong. May 27th, 2015. Selena and Justin caught together at Hillsong in the background of a friend's Snap story.
Whoops.
June 4th, 2015. Selena gets a tattoo of the letter G behind her ear for her little sister Gracie. June 16th, a few days later, in a now deleted Instagram post, Hailey shows off the G tattoo she got behind her ear, claiming it was for Hillsong pastor Chad Veach's daughter, Georgia, because she has a rare gene disorder.
That's fucking embarrassing. That's embarrassing.
Right. I would delete myself if that was.
There are people who exist in this world that I dislike, and I would die before I got any tattoo that they have on my person. Ever.
And it's not only just like the same tattoo, it's the same placement, mama.
Dude, did you also see, wait, let me scroll. Do you have any about the ring?
No, feel free to say it here.
So Justin bought Selena a ring that has a J on it with like a little star, like the diamond is the star. Hailey got a tattoo on her ring finger that's a J in the same font and a little twinkle star.
Dear girl.
It's embarrassing, bro.
You wish you were who? You wish he was her, huh? You wish he was her.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
So, June 29th to July 3rd of 2015, Hailey and Justin go on a Hillsong Church retreat to Australia together. Australia Hillsong retreat known for child labor and unpaid labor.
Whoops.
July 11th, 2015, Justin and Selena seen kissing in public. Hailey tweets, quote, "The devil is working extra hard today."
And by devil, she meant herself and the Hillsong people.
Oh my god.
That is so funny.
I get why Hailey just had to delete her fucking Twitter, because that thing was messy.
Dude, if you want to be famous, you gotta use your first paycheck to hire a PR firm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That girl was emotionally tweeting. August 30th, 2015. Justin breaks down in tears on stage at the VMAs after performing Where Are You Now and What Do You Mean? Two songs he said in interviews in the past were about Selena and his relationship with her.
Yeah, he's pressed hard.
Mm-hmm. So you can watch that performance online still. It's crazy. It's like a full-blown hysterical breakdown at the end of it. Mm-hmm. Side note here, Taylor Swift had taken Selena out of the venue before his performance.
Tay-Tay's such a good fucking friend, dude.
She knew.
She pays a security team. Tay-Tay pays for her own security team, whose only job in this entire world is to keep Justin Bieber away from Selena Gomez. Tay-Tay pays for it.
Yeah, that's one of the blind items that's a pretty hot topic. And if not confirmed by anything other than the fact that it's literally they have not been in and around each other because of that.
Yeah.
September 15th, 2015. Selena does an interview with Elle and says she will always love Justin. She doesn't know if they'd ever get back together, but there's always love there. September 17th, 2 days later, Hailey tells Page 6, the worst gossip page known to man, that Justin is a good person and that Justin and Jesus are what keep her grounded.
Yeah, she ain't getting no J tattoos behind her ear, though. I guess she has one on her ring finger.
Yeah, she got close. She didn't have room behind her ear because she it was taken up by the G that she conveniently got a few days after Selena. September 28th, 2015. Justin reveals in an interview that he and Selena moved in together before their breakup, stating, quote, "I learned a lot. I moved in with my girlfriend when I was 18, starting my own life with her. It was a marriage kind of thing. Living with a girl, it was just too much at that age. When stuff would happen, I would lose my frickin' mind and she would lose her mind. And we would fight so hard because we were so invested in each other. Love is a choice. Love is not a feeling. People have made it seem in movies that it's this fairy tale.
It's a pretty accurate take on being way too fucking young. That is too young.
Yeah. October 6th, 2015. Justin does a radio interview with a NZ host. When he asks what the best part of his teenage years were, he answers his relationship with Selena.
Ouch.
The next day, Justin and Hailey together at Hillsong, then spotted on a lunch date. Isn't it interesting that anytime Justin speaks out about how he always has love for Selena, it just so happens that he is then seen at Hillsong with Hailey?
Yeah, they gotta whisk him away to like reprogram him.
Literally,
allegedly.
Allegedly. It's just like so interesting how that's a pattern, and I don't know at what point a pattern has to continue to happen before it just is.
Yeah.
But, again, these are, you come to your own conclusions. November 3rd, 2015. Justin does an interview saying he will always love Selena and that he doesn't know if he'll ever be over her. Get ready.
If people were saying that in the press, I would not go after that person. You know what I mean? If I know Hailey likes him, but if someone was like honestly saying, "Oh, I'd never be over my first love," if you say that shit out loud in publications, like have some self-respect, honey.
But here's the thing, Chelsea, allegedly, what if you didn't have a choice, allegedly?
Allegedly, yes, this is true. I guess we can also take the side that she is also being programmed into this position.
I'll spoil what I think, just real quick. I think that Hailey was essentially sold off to Hillsong by her dad, and she was going to be arranged with whoever was the most powerful at that time. It just so happens in her lucky stars that Hillsong saw an opportunity to get Justin when he was at his most vulnerable, and she just so happened to be a fucking super fan in her childhood. So she had her own delusions, plus the delusions of the church, allegedly, keeping her in this. I would almost say forcing her hand, allegedly.
Interesting. I'm getting more the vibe that allegedly she leveraged what little power she had in Hillsong to get to Justin. And Hillsong allegedly played along because it was a win-win for them.
I think I'm going to have some numbers that are going to make you see a certain way, allegedly.
Okay, let's see it.
So, November 21st, 2015, following Selena's breakup short relationship with Zed, Justin was spotted serenading her at a Beverly Hills hotel bar, singing The Temptations' My Girl and his song Sorry, which is rumored to be about Selena. This is filmed by a bunch of witnesses. December 2015, the first week of December, Justin starts posting throwbacks to 2013 when him and Selena were dating. Okay? What does this feel like to you? This feels like something he's clearly trying to rekindle something, and
100%.
then January 1st, 2016, TMZ reports Hailey and Justin shared a New Year's Eve kiss on vacation. Hailey posts and then immediately deletes a picture of her arms around Justin, which she captioned New Year's. I linked the picture if you wanted to see it. And then we have the big day. And I think this is where part one might end, and we'll pick up next week.
Yeah, we've been going for an hour. Yeah,
this will be the end of part one on this. We'll do these 2 days And then we'll end it after January 4th.
Okay.
So on January 3rd, 2016, Justin posts a picture on Instagram of him kissing Hailey in St. Bart's. This picture is still up. I recommend that you go look at it and read the comments on it, because when I looked at it, there were comments coming in as recent as 5 minutes ago, and they are hilarious. This Instagram post is what broke the internet. I wasn't even a fan of Justin Bieber, and I remember when this picture went up because it was all over everything and everywhere. It was on every website, magazine, photo. It was all over Twitter. It was everywhere. And this was the official start of the fan war between Selena and Hailey, because no more than a month ago, fans had seen the serenading videos. And then we have this. The next day, January 4th, 2016, Selena is in a Rolling Stones interview saying she, quote, "I am honestly so done. I care about his health and well-being, but I can't do this anymore." And when asked about the November video of him serenading her, she responds, quote, "What I would love for this to be printed is that I am so beyond done talking about that and him." I'll give you guys one last piece of juice before we stop part one.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, again, a few days later, January 13th, sources go to the media and report that Hailey, with the support of Hillsong Church, go to Justin with an ultimatum. And that is where we will stop this episode, part one of Justin Bieber and Hillsong Church.
Dude.
How do you feel? Because this isn't even the thick of it. We haven't even, 2016, it gets ugly, but 2018 is where it falls apart.
Yeah, and that interview with Selena and Rolling Stones is so sad, because you can tell she's so fucking heartbroken, man. She's like trying not to cry, and she's just like can't do it. And I think this is really when she's like taps out.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, at this part in the timeline, I just think it's like blaringly obvious, like the heavy hand of manipulation that Hillsong has. And I want to be mad at like Justin Bieber, like I really do, for like being the world's most obvious fuckboy to America's sweetheart, Selena Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you really look at it like chronologically, whenever Hailey is there, there's someone else there as well, and that is Hillsong Church, whether physically, as in the building, or with either of the two pastors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's sad too, because when someone's like struggling and trying to get out of like addiction and whatever, religion becomes so fucking important for so many people to get out of that. So it's like, what was going through his mind of being like, I can't turn my back now because I don't want to go back to problematic behavior.
Yeah, and like at this time, besides being photographed with both women, Justin was also photographed with the two pastors. Like he was living with Carl Lentz. Like he was living with him in his home. And of course, there are what I find a little uncomfortable pictures of the two of them, like essentially cuddling together. And I just know that there was like some things were happening, whether that was this pastor from this church knowing that this was a vulnerable, like this, he was super vulnerable in this moment and that he could exploit him and use that to his benefit, or like, I don't know. It's just it's always wrapped in like a power grab, and it's just super insincere. And I can just imagine at this point, Justin Bieber is dealing with fighting essentially the prophecy of being a fuck up child star with a pill problem.
Yeah.
He's trying to like prevent that from happening while simultaneously experiencing it happening in real life with his like continual run-ins with the law. and continual stories of him being like published and printed, being like the bad boy now.
Yeah.
And I think that like in fighting that, he saw solace in Hillsong. Hillsong came to him and was like, "You're sick, we have the cure."
Yeah.
And Justin was raised Christian, but Hillsong is evangelical. And I think there's something about that like sternness, that old school like dark like core of evangelical practices and teachings that it feels so wrong that you're like, maybe that's what's right. Like if everything you've been doing in your life has led you down this path and all the choices you've made have led you down the wrong path, then why wouldn't you do what doesn't feel natural and doesn't feel right and just listen to these people wholeheartedly? Because like, you clearly haven't been making the right choices. They say they can. They have nothing but proof of celebrities who have also like reinvigorated their image in the public because of joining the church. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just believe them wholeheartedly and just give unto them all of your trust?
Absolutely. And also, like, if you look up anything about Justin Bieber's relationship with his dad, it's essentially that he didn't really have one. So now all of a sudden you have like this man in power coming in to play the father figure for a vulnerable individual. And that's like also incredibly creepy and fucking problematic, especially when they're like cuddling up together. Like, that has to be so confusing to somebody who already doesn't make good choices.
Yeah, 1,000%. So yeah, we will see you next week on the final chapter of the timeline and our final thoughts on what this all means, allegedly.
Allegedly. This was all allegedly. Dare I say this entire episode is fabricated?
I agree. For our lawyers have told us that no one should take anything we say seriously unless you want to go up and look up all of the evidence, images, stories, and tweets that are verifiable throughout this episode. But speaking of things that you should look up, you can go to the link tree in all of our bios. I'm at Noelle Fain. That's at Sithlard. We're at Go to Hell Podcast. In that link tree, you will find our Discord server, which is free and fun to use. Or $1 will get you in to our Patreon. New episodes are put out each week. This week's episode is super fun. We have really fun stories about teen fights at concerts and potentially maybe ruining a marriage that on Facebook. Who knows?
If Kelly was a boxer, it'd be like Kelly the hoe home breaking Halloran. Sorry.
That is so good.
Just disrespectful.
No, I love it.
Funny.
You can also find a link to our merch, which is super fun. 100% of the proceeds are donated. You can also find, speaking of Kelly home breaking, home wrecking Halloran, you can find a link to her Etsy page where she sells cool stuff she's made for us and cool stuff she also makes. And I don't know why you'd need it, but it's there. Links to listen to us on anywhere that you can listen to podcasts.
Okay, bye.
Wait.
What? Oh.
I'm going to give a hail Selena. A hail Selena and a hail Satan, because we always be keeping an eye out for Selena.
I'm going to hail that too. I'm going to hail Selena for show. Glad that she has come out against the mega church, of which she was a part of, but she got out, man. She Katie Holmes'd it.
Mm-hmm.
So, hail that.
Hail running from the cold church.